The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game has over 10,000 unique cards for players to collect, trade, and construct their own personal decks. But what would happen if players only had access to the bare minimum? In this series, both the TheRJB0 and myself will each open a very select amount of sealed product. Once we open that product, we must build a deck using only those specific cards pulled, that's it. And at the end of each episode, we discard the entirety of our pulls to the graveyard and start from scratch with a new product. Every card counts. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! Sealed Showdown. If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code CIMOOOOO5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content. Damn. Well, what can you expect from last episode, ladies and gentlemen? But we're moving on to a very popular set that a lot of people might have fond memories of or terrifying memories of, depending on your perspective, in Storm of Ragnarok. For those of you who remember, this is the 6 Samurai set, this is the Nordic set, but there's also support for several other archetypes in here as well. I'm excited to crack this. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in here. 24 packs, let's see what we're going to get. And right off the bat, we actually maybe get one of, if not the most important card in the set, Nordic Relic Leviathan. I'm probably going to completely butcher the names on these. Target a face-up monster on the field that destroyed a monster by battle this turn. Destroy it. Cards and effects cannot be activated in response to this card's activation. This is just generic one-for-one removal that comes as long as a monster destroyed another monster. This is basically, for all intents and purposes, Sakuretsu armor, and I am all here for it. I guess Hourglass of Courage could be relevant just because it has the ability to like double its attack to 2200 if we are able to protect it for a turn. That's pretty good for a normal summon. If we have like Courage plus Relic on turn 1, pop whatever Robert summons. This goes to 22 next turn. Might be good. Kagamusha is also 1800 defense, which is just kind of big, so we'll have to look out to see how relevant that is.
All right. We've had our fun with duelist packs, but now it is time to go into a real set. Storm of Ragnarok. I have a lot of nostalgia around this set. There's a bunch of really good stuff in it. I remember playing with my friends when I was playing Karakuri and they were playing things like Nordic, which was, you know, a power balance that we had. This set is wild. There are so many cool things that we can pull specifically in the synchro slot that I'm looking forward to seeing. Let's see if we can get them. Pack number 1 brings us a Black Goat. The Black Goat is very important if we get the Nordic synchros. We also got a legendary 6 Samurai Mizuho and a Zingzenhu replica. These are just generically good cards for us. Also, Scrap Shark. Sure, that'll come up. The 6 Strike Triple Impact is also an interesting one. Now that I'm taking a look at it, this could be a payoff for the 6 Samurai, even if we don't pull Shien. Gonna be looking out for this card being relevant this set. Now, also, Nordic Relic Dropnir was unheard of in the TCG, but gives a Nordic monster 800 attack, and that's not nothing in this format. A Resonator Engine is another one to keep an eye out for. There are some good Resonators in this set, and a lot of good Resonator support to work with. Adding any level 4 monster from your deck to your hand is a pretty solid benefit to get out of it as well. Okay, so even though this first pack looks unassuming, there's definitely some interesting stuff to keep an eye out for here.
The only real card of note here is probably Saizon. This is an 1800 defender. It's also a tuner, so if we get synchros, that sort of enables some things. We're gonna have to see what other like tribute summons there are that make playing something like Saizon worth it. I guess synchros by extension. Ooh, so this pack is actually very important. So not only did we get Mizuho, we got Shinai as well, and Mizuho is actually removal. Nordic Relic Brissingerman, I'm probably gonna completely butcher all of these, is actually like okay. It's sort of a way to make monsters trade potentially, and there may be some other cool stuff we could do with this, but the Nordic Relics are actually very interesting pieces of interaction for this episode.
Next pack, there is Goldfosh, which I think is very, very good. It is a level 4 tuner, which is genuinely strong in general, but I think this card is going to be crucial if we get ourselves a Thor. Garmer is also a funny defensive card, and Shien Squire is actually okay because it can search us 6 Sams. Also, Saizon is great if we get any Karakuri monsters, although I'm not sure what we have in the way of machine non-tuners here. Oh, Tiki Curse is also in here. The Tiki monsters are extremely strong. Next pack, ooh, a Karakuri Muso model 818 Hypa. This card is very strong. This is basically Goblin attack force for Karakuris and does provide us with a machine non-tuner in case we pull ourselves a Karakuri Synchro. Tiki Soul also in here. Glad to see all of the Tiki monsters starting to come out. Another drop near could be very strong for us. Oh, Maggio Shalion is potentially really interesting. Besides just being a stunning dude, just look at that style. This card could be our tribute summon for the episode, dealing piercing battle damage and being immune to attacks while your opponent controls spell trap cards, which I do expect we're going to have because some of the spell traps we've seen so far have been very strong. Oh, also Barrier Resonator is a hand trap for your tuners. There's so much interesting stuff going on in Storm of Ragnarok.
So the Tiki cards are in here, and these are actually playable. They're at 1800 defense, at least Soul is. I think Curse might be 1800 attack, but these are actually quite playable, so I might have to look into these. We have Karakuri Cash as well, which, depending on how dense our Karakuri lineup is, could actually be playable. Sheehan Smoke Signal's a cool card, but unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be very useful to us. Another Nordic Relic, but not the one that we're really looking for. Another Hourglass if we do play it, another Cash. We really need some of the heavy hitters. We're not getting those yet.
Next pack, Elemental Hero Ice Edge is a genuinely strong card. Cosmic Compass is also an interesting one, although I don't know if we're going to be able to use it effectively in this set, just because it's going to be hard to keep monsters on the board in order to really get the tune or the synchro benefit off of it. This is our second legendary Six Samurai. It's Shinai. We've seen a Mizuho. We do want to see as many of these two cards as possible. And there is Garmer. Another copy of that is definitely not going to go amiss for us. Diverge also potentially strong if we're going to be going into Loki specifically, but I'm not sure that that's going to be the case. Ice Edge is a really interesting super rare. I will give it that. Pack number 5, there's Musakani Magatama, a great card for the Six Samurai strategy. Ooh, and Yaksha, a 1900 spirit, and I believe it has a pretty decent effect. Yeah, Yaksha returns a spell trap to the hand. So if we want to really go off, this card can be very strong and makes battle tricks a lot less strong. Glad to see this card. Hope we get 3 of it. Here's another interesting one. Watmole is effectively Drillroid. If it attacks into a face down monster, you can destroy it without flipping it face up or applying damage calculation. This card is terrible as far as attack stats go, but its effect is probably worthwhile. Nordic Relic Brisengamen is also something to consider. It's like a really, really terrible battle trick.
Maggio Shalion may actually be a playable tribute summon, even though it's only 2000. Your opponent cannot select this as an attack target while they control any spells and traps, which there's a few of those in this set, and it does piercing when it attacks. And so far, I've only seen the defense stats on monsters that you can normal summon or set cap out at 1800, so this might actually be a consideration if there's nothing better. So Gungnir's a pretty sick piece of removal. It's not as good as the Leviathan, but this card is nice because it is a way to like sort of give us a monster 2 turns later, but like we have to pop it even though it does pop one of our opponent's cards. It's a weird little card, but if we have enough Nordic support, we will play this. We haven't seen much of that yet though.
Here's a Tyr the Nordic Champion. Oh, and a Quick. Quick is in here. Oh, this is going to be really good for the Karakuris. So we have our tuners and our non-tuners for the Karakuris, and I think that's extremely strong. Nordic Relic Leviathan, if I remember correctly, is also a strong combat trick. Let's take a look. Yeah, so this destroys a monster on the field who destroyed another monster by battle this turn, and it can't be responded to. This is very, very strong. Definitely going to be something we're looking out for. Tyr is interesting. It's a 2000 attack level 4, and your opponent can't attack Nordics beside it, but you do have to have a Nordic on the field for it, otherwise it dies.
Okay, second Leviathan, happy to see that. I'd like to see a full playset of this because this is maybe, like I said, the best card in the set. Gotta say, I love seeing Mizuho and Shinai in the same pack. I think we're good on Shinai's. I think we need one more Mizuho and then we're covered there. So that's just gonna give us a nice removal suite. We're about halfway through and still no like crazy big pulls yet, sadly. I'm hoping we get at least something to be able to like threaten Robert with, but unfortunately it doesn't look like that's happening yet.
Next pack, Hope for Escape is very funny, but glad to see another Leviathan. Another Maggio Shalion will not go amiss, as will another Watmole. Very, very strong. Next pack, a Stardust Shimmer. I know this does something. This is a card that people have considered over the years, but I'm not sure what it does. This is also, by the way, our second Tiki Curse, hoping to see 3 of those. And there's another Mizuho. Top Runner's an interesting one. I'm going to read a couple of these as well. I'm just having to read a lot of stuff, and it's uncovering some really interesting things. Okay, Stardust Shimmer unfortunately requires a Dragon Synchro, which I don't think we're going to get access to this time around, but a very cool card nonetheless.
There we go. Third Leviathan. Happy to see that. Another Tiki Curse that may finish our playset. And Worm Illidan, I've seen a few of these. This may be just another bad tribute summon that we have to play just because it happens to have decent stats for this set. I keep getting Tear of the Nordic Champions, but the problem is he destroys himself if there's no other Nordic card on the field. So that's not very good, unfortunately, but we're not really seeing much of a solution here. Yaksha, I actually think might be playable, though. Yeah, Yaksha's kind of cracked. It can bounce a spell or trap, and then it's a 1900 on a level 4. The only downside is it bounces itself back, and tempo is kind of important in like a sealed series like this, but 1900 on a level 4, that's like better than almost everything else I've seen so far.
Watt Barracks is a level 3 tuner, which is okay for some things. I'm not sure that that's actually going to be relevant, but that is our third Garmer, which means our defense position strats are going to be very, very strong. Not maybe as much in the face of Watt Mole, though. All right, there's our third Black Goat, very good, and our third Leviathan. Very, very excited about that. And another Barrier Resonator. Interesting things going on here. Oh, Karakuri Cash Cash is also extremely strong, especially with the particular lineup of Karakuris that we have. Being able to grab Karakuris out of our deck is very strong. Pack 11, another Watt Barracks. There's a Brizen Gammon, so we continue to have interesting battle tricks. And there's our third 6-strike triple impact. The thing is, we haven't gotten any of the rare 6 Samurai, which are going to be crucial for our ability to use any of our 6 Samurai cards. Our third Tiki Curse is awesome to see, though. There's another Diverge, which could be okay. That's another Shien Squire is very important for us to see for the 6 Samurai strategy. And there's our second Tiki Soul. Our Tikis are really getting out swinging, and those are very important because they just have the highest attack points as far as normal summonables go, aside from, of course, my Hypa.
Oh, shit. There is the Odin, father of the Acer. I guess I have to consider playing this now just because Odin is insane. I don't know how insane it is in a sealed series. It's not like insane in like regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Anyway. I think the biggest issue is that if I don't really have a tuner to make this, I can't even summon this card, but I think we have to look into it because if we could drop this on Robert, oh my god, he would lose it.
Okay, we're about halfway through, and I'm seeing some really interesting things for the main deck. What I'm really hoping for in the remainder of these is to see just a bomb. I don't know what that's going to be. It could be the Karakuri Synchro, it could be an Aesir monster, it could be a Shien, probably, but I think that this set of cards that I've already pulled are going to be really, really good if they have something to work toward. So let's see if we can get that in the second half of our packs. Hope for Escape is not it, but another Watchdog is pretty solid. Scrap Shark, also an interesting one. It can probably get in at least one hit before it gets destroyed. There's a Kageki. Kageki is very strong, if only for the fact that it has 2000 defense and can summon a 6 Samurai from your hand. We also got another Shinai. I believe that we are full up on Shinais, which is great. If I can get one more Mizuo, we'll be very, very strong. Worm Illidan is a tribute summonable. Let's see if it's worth anything. Honestly, yes. Worm Illidan gets a counter every time you set a monster or any card on your side of the field, even better, and then you can remove 2 counters from it to destroy a card on the field. This is really, really strong, actually, as a tribute summon. It doesn't have the highest attack points, but I don't think that matters when it has such clear removal ability. If we can hold on to 2 spell or trap cards in our hand and just set them under the Worm Illidan, then we'll get a free pop on the board, and I think that's probably good enough. There's another Quick. Glad to see that. We are full up on Levitans, and we are full up on Curses, so I'm not terribly excited to see those. But another Karakuri Cash Cash, very, very strong. We do want to be getting into our Karakuris because at least Hypa and Quick are very strong.
Well, ask and you shall receive. There's Gufalde of the Nordic Beast, completely butchering the name on this, but it's a level 4 tuner with 1600 attack, which is actually pretty decent, and it's a tuner for us to be able to make Odin. So we're like 90% of the way there, I think. I would like to get some of the other good Nordic Beast cards, but I'll take it.
Pack number 16, we've seen a fairly reliable low to the ground strat as far as our Illidans and our 6 Samurai go, but I really, really do want to see some kind of payoff for all of this. Stardust Phantom is not that. But that is our third quick, and we are full up on 6 strike triple impact in case we have the opportunity to go for our real 6 samurai strat. The only problem with that I see is that so far we have only pulled a grand total of 3 6 samurai names. All right, we've got about a third of our packs left. Again, still looking for some kind of bomb, some payoff for the 6 samurai perhaps. Let's see what we got. Starting off with, oh, not the super rare I want to see, Symphonic Warrior Drums. Just a deeply suboptimal card if I don't have a synchro to go into. But the third cash, pretty okay. Happy to see that. There's another Tiki Curse. I really cannot get a Tiki Soul for the life of me. By the way, Xingzhen Hu Replica is going to be a really interesting card in our format because it's really good at blanking opponents' cards. However, with Yaksha in the format, I just realized I've only gotten 1 copy of that card. Oh boy.
And we get Loki as well. That actually gives us some options now for what we want to make, whether it's Loki or Odin. I mean, that's just the fact that we have the option is insane. I don't know how deep we're going to go on the Acer strat, but not bad.
Well, I've just found another thing to look for. I haven't gotten any copies of Yaksha since our first one. I think I would have been very excited about that. I'm hoping that in our last 5 packs, we can get a couple of other copies of that because that's probably the strongest monster we have to work with. Not so. However, another Kagemusha. Actually, this is my first Kagemusha. Forgot about that. Interesting. Seeing some commons that I hadn't seen before. This is suddenly more worrying than I thought it was going to be. Pack number 21. We've got another Scrap Shark. That's okay. I do want to see at least one more Yaksha, though. Is that a short print common here? Next one. Still not more Yakshas. I am again full up on caches though. So I'm glad to be seeing, well, I'm not glad to be seeing any more copies of that, but I'm glad that we have seen that so far. All right, 2 more packs. Can we get something worth going into? That is a card worth going into. The legendary 6 Samurai Shien. This card is so unbelievably strong. Whoo! There we go. Asking ye shall receive, I guess. I only have gotten 2 Mizuhos now that I think about it, but I have a good lineup of level 3 6 samurai monsters, so there is a very good chance that we're going to be able to go into this card, which I am very happy about. Let's see if we can make that work, or if we can get something crazy in our last pack. All right, this is our last pack. This has been a really interesting opening so far, and we got another Shinai. Wow, I cannot get Mizuhos to save my life, or Yakshas. Again, that's a little bit concerning, but I'm not going to complain given the payoff that we've gotten. What does Gungnir do? Actually, that's a pretty good card. Interesting. This has been a very enjoyable set to open and look at as far as what we can do with it. Oh, there's our third Tiki Soul. Look at that. I'm looking forward to deck building with this. We have a really, really strong payoff in the form of 6 Samurai Shien, and I think that we can make this card. Let's see if we can do that.
And only a few packs left, ladies and gentlemen. There's a Tangnoster. That's actually not bad if we're trying to go for the synchro, so I will take it. I think most of those are rares, which is why we haven't really seen them all that much. But let's see if we can get a couple of them in the last few packs here. Doesn't look like it. Overpowering Eye is not the card we want. One more. Just give me one more of the good Nordic cards, and good in quotations, and I will be happy, and it does not look like we got it. So we've got some interesting decisions to make here. There's a lot of fun stuff we can do for sure, and at the very least, I think we're going to be okay just because we have our 3 Leviathan. Hopefully Robert didn't pull any. That'd be fun. But let's get to deck building. We may be dropping some Acers.
This is the deck. This set was phenomenally fun to deck build with. If you want to check out me deck building this set, you can always hit me up at patreon.com/TheRJB0, where I will be posting this deck build. But I gotta say, this was so much fun to play with. There were so many interesting cards in the set. There were a bunch of things that ended up in my side deck, and then I ended up cutting because I had so many things I wanted to work with. Obviously, my big payoff is the legendary 6 Samurai Shien. This card is ridiculously powerful, especially in a limited environment. The problem is we only got 1 Kageki and 2 Kagemusha, so it's a little bit unreliable. Our Six Samurai lineup on the whole is generally fairly strong. I wish that I got some of the search power that exists with this deck. I think we get Smoke Signal in the set. I did not. And it turns out Shien's Squire only defends them from battle. It's Shien's Foot Soldier that searches them. So this is going to be a little bit sacky, just like our Scrap Dragon strat was. But hey, that got us the dub. So I think it's worthwhile to run all of these cards. Besides, Shinai and Mizuho is just the best combo in the set. We got 1 Yaksha. Funny how that works. 2 Worm Illidan. This card is just a generally good out to things and is a strong boss monster that's easy to summon. 1 Hypa and 3 Quick. This engine alongside triple Cash Cash just gives us reliable out or ins to answers for cards. Quick can get over the 6 Sams in order to get its effect, and then Cash Cash can add us free cards to our hand. Having a Quick is good for getting a Hypa into rotation with Cash Cash, so I think in general they're just solid cards to have together. Triple Watmole deals with Garmer most importantly, but also with a couple of the other cards that Alex may be setting, like Kagemusha. And then we've got our 3 Garmer. This card bounces level 4 or lowers that it battles with, which can be really, really good as a defensive card or as an offensive card. We've also got 1 Ice Edge. This card is really, really good in light of the Tiki cards, which we have in here. We have 3 of each of the Tikis, just very strong. Triple Zingzenhu Replica. This is our MST equivalent, kind of, for this set. Triple Leviton. This card is basically Michizure and is therefore incredible. Our triple Cash Cash and our triple Brizengammon. This card is really mediocre, but there are some things in the set that make it kind of worthwhile, so I think that I am going to run it just to have it as a backup. Our side deck is largely a combination of 2 things. First of all, the Cosmic Compass Token Sunday combo. If Alex is finding a way to swarm the board with a lot of monsters, this basically provides us with a dark hole of sorts to be able to summon Cosmic Compass and then Token Sunday away all of Alex's monsters. I think that that's generally a pretty strong strategy, but I think a little bit inconsistent unless we see Alex really swarming for things. 1 Musakani, triple Nordic Relic of Dropnir, 1 Nordic Beast of Goldfosh, triple Liolsov, and 1 Nordic Relic Gungnir. This is a pretty cool combination of cards. Dropnir makes our monsters fairly large, but it's another really inconsistent one. I wanted to fill up my main deck cards with cards that get us into Shien, obviously, and then just good standalone things. These cards have to work in combination, so I think they're probably too low powered for this set, but maybe something I want to side into if one of my strats is going a little bit sideways. This deck looks really fun to run, and this week looks like it's going to be crazy for Sealed Showdown. I can't wait to get into the duels. Let's play.
Man, I'm really bummed with the way this turned out. So unfortunately, even though Robert and I do have a special rule to try to allow us to play some synchro monsters, it doesn't really work. We're only really allowed to play monsters that are specifically named in the card text, and this one, they aren't really, and even then, I think it would be really difficult to pull these guys off regardless, because they need 3 monsters, not a ton of protection. It's fine. Anyway, our deck actually looks quite fun, and I think there's gonna be a lot of neat interactions here. So let's do the card by card. So first up, we have 3 Garmer of the Nordic Beast. This is a 1900 defender that if it battles a level 4 or lower monster, after damage calc, return that monster to the hand. That's actually a pretty annoying effect in all honesty, and 1900 is pretty sizable when the base stat line for the set is about 1800. Then we have Kagemusha. Kagemusha may seem weird because I'm not playing like Shien or anything, but it is a 6 Samurai, and Mizuho contribute any 6 Samurai, so this is just more fodder for Mizuho, so I don't have to give up anything else. Then we have 2 Kuik and 2 Saizon. So I kind of like this because Saizon can buff Kuik to 25, and that could be quite big to hit over some larger threats. So I'm not really sure about this. This could get sided out. Then we have the Mizuho and the Shinai coming in at 2. Both of these are cool just because they can summon one another, or rather just special summon themselves to the field. And most notably, Mizuho has an effect that it can pop stuff on the field, which is very relevant. Then we get into the tribute monsters, which is Magio Shelion, which is just hilarious. It's a monster that can't be targeted as an attack target while your opponent has a spell or trap, and then it does piercing, and it's 2000. Then we have Worm Illidan, which, to be fair, this card's actually kind of sick. Each time a card is set on your side of the field, place a worm counter on this card. You can remove 2 worm counters from this card, so let's select a card your opponent controls and destroy it, which we have plenty of things to set in this deck, so that's very likely to come up, and that means that we can actually just take care of anything quite annoying. We're also playing 2 Tier of the Nordic Champions. This card, in theory seems terrible. It says your opponent cannot target Nordic monsters for attacks except this one, which is pretty irrelevant, I guess, except for Garmer exactly. But if there are no other Nordic monsters on the field, destroy this card. Now, most likely Robert's going to be playing this too, which means this card will actually be able to stay alive for longer. But as long as we control this, that means Tyr is going to stay on the field, so we get to have a 1900 defender and a 2k attacker. That doesn't seem too bad. Speaking of 1900 though, we have 2 copies of Yaksha rounding out our monsters. I decided to play this because even though it's a loss in tempo, a lot of the baseline attacks are like 1800, and I really like just having a card that can clear that and then bounces back to the hand. So it's sort of like built-in protection in a way, but as long as Robert doesn't have like 3 things on the field, I think Yaksha is actually not too bad. For the spells, we only have 3 copies of Smoke Signal for our Shinai and our Mizuho. I guess technically Kagamusha, but most likely one of those 2. Then for the traps, we have 2 Nordic Relic Brisangamen, which again, probably butchering the names here. This has an interesting sort of battle trick to it, so this could be relevant, but honestly, like, I need some sort of battle trick. Otherwise, like, we don't really have a lot of interaction. 3 copies of Leviatine, which is just like the best card we have access to. 3 Tiki Curse and 2 Tiki Soul. Tiki Curse is nice because it can actually have it if there's another trap monster that's like doing combat, that after damage calc, that monster will be destroyed. So that's built-in removal. So Tiki Soul kind of sucks because it's only 1000 attack, but at the very least, we can just summon these and they're tribute fodder, and that's most important. And then 3 copies of Xingzhen Hu Replica to round out our main deck. This will be good to stop like opposing Levitines or just any other interaction like that. Yaksha is also nice because it can bounce opposing replicas so that our cards will come back online. But that does it for the main deck. Let's go ahead and do the side deck. So 3 Hourglass of Courage. This card has the potential to be very good, but I don't think we have enough protection for it because it needs to survive a full turn before it gets to 2200 attack. But if it gets to 2200 attack, it's bigger than basically everything else we have access to. So that's why I haven't completely written it off. Another Kuik, another Saizon, another Shinai. I only pulled 2 Mizuho, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd go 3 and 3 here. We have 3 Watmole as well. This card's probably not going to get played, but it's just very funny. 3 Worm Jetalexpi. Again, this card sucks, but I guess it's a way to get tributes on the field, so maybe it's worth it. 2 Hope for Escape. Very funny. We're not playing Exodia, but if we are just really far behind, we might just draw 4 cards. And another copy of the Nordic Relic. Again, really hard to cut for space actually here because I think this deck's actually quite solid. I think if anything, maybe we can cut like the Katakuris for maybe the Relic, maybe the other Shinai, and like maybe Hourglasses of Courage or something. We'll see how the game goes though. It'll be interesting to see what Robert came up with because a lot of neat little cards and interactions in this set. Let's not make you guys wait any longer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to duel. Well, Robert, you said it right before we started recording. We are back to what some people would consider normal Yu-Gi-Oh!, which means you are probably doomed to lose this episode.
It's true. I only function in the absolute worst formats known to humankind.
Nothing wrong with that. I'm sure the crowd appreciates it. Let's go ahead and shout the patron, Josh Andrews. Thank you for the support. And if I could win a rock, paper, scissors, that would be good.
Oh, hell yeah. The die is doing me well.
Apparently,
I'm so glad that you introduced me to the Church of the Die, Alex.
Apparently, I need a new die. Bear no mind to my 2-card extra deck to your 1, but best of luck, buddy.
That's concerning. Oh, Alex, you are so unbelievably fucked right now. I am going to normal summon legendary 6 Samurai Kageki.
What?
And I'm going to declare its
Robert,
effect. Summoning in defense Kagemusha of the 6 Samurai.
Summon.
And I'm going to synchro summon the legendary 6 Samurai Shien.
I need to shut my big fucking mouth. Oh my god. Of course, you open literally turn 1 of the fucking game.
All set and pass. To be fair, the quintessential combo of this format immediately outs this card, but I couldn't not on turn 1.
Smoke Signal.
Shit. Yep. Oh, wait, no, you can't have that. We're declaring it's
Damn it,
here. I ain't letting you get that.
Fuck! Oh my god, I was so close to you just taking the bait. That's so unfortunate. All right.
I'm not letting you get the one thing that immediately deals with this board.
I had to try, at least. You were this close to letting that resolve. Oh my god.
I was.
All right, well, I will just T-set and pass in that case. Go ahead.
All right, draw for turn. All right, we're going. I have like the FTK, Alex. Let's normal summon Yaksha.
Oh, Jesus.
And we'll declare Yaksha, bouncing that card back to your hand. Let's go to battle phase. I'm going to start by attacking in with Shien.
It's Kagamusha.
Hell yeah, attack directly with Yaksha. Yep. Back to my hand. Your go.
There's still hope, but oh man, is it grim. Go ahead.
All right, draw for turn. Main phase 1, we will normal summon Yaksha again.
Okay.
We will declare its effect, putting that card back in your hand. And there are 2,000 defenders in this format, so I do have to keep attacking.
Yeah, you
with
drew
Shien
one of them.
first.
Yaksha.
Hell yeah, attack directly with Yaksha.
Take 19.
End phase, I'll add Yaksha back to my hand. Your go.
Please. There's no justice in the world. Well, I have 3 turns before I'm dead, potentially.
That is true. At least it is for now. Let's normal summon ourselves a Yaksha.
Oh, shocker. Never seen this before.
Oh, you've never seen... This is worse than the Drill Warrior.
Yeah, I think so,
Attack
actually.
indirectly with Yaksha.
Take the 19.
All right. Main 2, I will set a back row and pass the turn to you.
Please. Put that back in your hand.
Oh yeah, it does go. You're right. I'm so sorry. This does significantly change the outcome of the game.
Okay, search smoke signal.
Oh, it's happening. Yeah.
Buddy, I would implore that you read Shien.
Oh shit! I keep forgetting about the fact that I have a spell trap negate. Yeah, we're getting rid of it.
I shouldn't have said anything. I really shouldn't have said anything.
I'm just sitting on the best monster
I'm
in
just
like
fucking
5Ds,
dead.
and
Get
I'm
me
just
out of this fucking game. What the fuck was that? Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Shien, really? Of all things, you could. And you open it like the combo turn 1. Like, at least if it was like the middle of the game, I'd feel a little bit better. I just had no chance. It was just like game over as soon as the game started. All right,
This is a pretty solid one.
I wish I could agree with you. Well, I'm going to do this now before I get negated again and lose the game immediately.
Yep.
I will grab Mizuho.
Okay.
Then I will set 1,
All right.
2, 3.
Unbelievable.
Go ahead.
Draw for turn. Main 1. I will normal summon. What more?
Oh, thank fucking God. As soon as you said normal summon, I was just like, Kaigeki's coming down, and I'm just gonna
Kageki Kagemusha, let's go.
Yeah.
No, we're just gonna attack in with Watmole.
This is actually insane. Yeah, it's my Garmer.
Hell yeah! Got rid
you
of the
got it.
Garmer. Main phase 2, I'm just gonna set 3 and pass again.
Fucking Watmole. Can't believe
Watmole.
you know what? You would play this card.
I
All I'm
would
gonna
play
say.
Watmole, you're right, and it just outed your Garmer of the Nordic Beasts.
It did. It very well did. All right, main 1. All right, let's go Yaksha.
Okay, what are we bouncing?
My turn to play this game. Bounce this one.
Okay, that is fine.
Try to kill your Watmole.
Would you like to proceed to damage step?
Oh, fuck. Yeah, I
I
guess.
will Nordic Relic Brizengam my
Okay,
Watmole.
so we crash.
Yep.
Fine by me.
All right.
Go.
All right, draw for turn. Ooh, that's a pretty good draw. Let's start off by normal summoning Yaksha,
Sure.
and I will declare it putting this card back in your hand.
Sure.
Battle phase. Yaksha.
19.
Activate Tiki Curse.
This is bad. Yep. You just
Attack
move
in
him.
for 18. Yeah, but it also takes up a spell trap zone.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, are you really setting 4, to be fair?
That's true. It's important to remember that this is still a spell and trap for things like, I don't know, Elemental Hero Ice Edge.
Sure.
Main phase 2, I
guess.
will set 1, I will set 2, and I will pass and add Yaksha back to my hand. Your go. Ooh, are we thinking
End
about it?
phase, hope for escape.
Whoa! I did not see this card coming. Yeah, wow, that is
So I'll draw 2.
2. Okay, it's pot of greed.
Yep. All right. Then I draw for turn.
That's a lot of cards.
I need them, considering how the last game went. I'm going to set 1, 2, 3, and pass.
Okay, during the end phase, I am going to Zingzenhu replica this one. Draw for turn. Oh, that's pretty fucking solid. Sure, I'm going to try for normal summoning quick.
Interesting. Sure.
Battle phase. Let's attack in.
It is Kagemusha.
Okay. Ah, fuck. I could have taken it out. Shit. I got greedy. I'll take 100.
Yep. Squeak is forced to attack.
Main phase 2, I'm going to Karakuri Cash.
Change him to defense and add.
Quick to defense. And I am going to add a little card by the name of Karakuri Muso, model 818 Hypa.
Interesting. This is like a super, isn't it?
It's an ultra.
Ultra, even worse. All right, great.
I'll pass turn. I got greedy and I'm getting punished for it.
So it's like a spear dragon. Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Draw. That ain't bad. That is not bad at all. Okay. Now I gotta think. Okay, first and foremost, we're replicating your set.
That's pretty solid. Oh god, I am getting so giga punished for this greed play. Yeah, that's fine.
I think this is sadly the move, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna sack Kagemusha for Worm Illidan.
Hell yeah, this card is sick.
This, for sealed, this card's actually kind of crazy. So we will proceed to battle. I'm going to take out your... Yeah, I'm gonna be a bit safe. I'm gonna take out the curse.
That makes sense to me. I will take 200.
Second main, I'm gonna set a card. Trigger the Illidan, get a counter. Unfortunately, I am one fucking card off from just being able to easily clear this. So I'm gonna activate Smoke Signal.
Okay.
Give me Shinai, and I'll pass.
Let's draw for turn. I am going to turn quick forward.
Yep.
We're going to normal summon Hypa.
Yep.
Let's go in.
Take 100.
Hypa goes to defense, and then we'll attack in with quick.
17.
Main phase 2, let's set a back row, and it is your go.
Draw. We have the God combo.
Oh boy.
Attempt to activate.
Activation is fine. There goes quick.
And we'll try to clear Hypa.
Okay. And once it has been destroyed, I will Levitin.
Sure. And you have Yaksha, and I'm fucking dead. Yay! Woo!
Wow. That went.
Yeah, that
For sure.
went. I was so salty. You replicated it.
I had the feeling it might be a pretty good one, and I had the Brisengammon.
Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. That's why you were frustrated too. I figured it was either one or the other, but
yep.
No, there was just Kuik. So the problem was I couldn't attack over the Kuik at all, like because Mizuho was just it just didn't work out at all, unfortunately, because like Kuik was going to go back to attack position when I attack it, and I needed like 1800 somewhere, and it didn't exist. So it is what it is. Because I either I could go Mizuho Shinai that turn, pop like Kuik, but then I can't take out Tiki Curse. Same thing as vice versa. Should we do the game 3 since this one was so quick?
Sure, let's do the game 3 for the fans.
I have to take one game off of you. Just one, please. Just one game. That's all I ask.
All right, let's do it.
I feel like that was winnable, but just the way the stat lines lined up, it was just not happening. But clearly you were the superior
This is a very
duelist.
beatable hand. I will tell you that.
All right, let's see how beatable it is. I'm just going to set 2 and pass.
That is sensible. Let's draw for turn. That's hilarious. We'll set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
That's literally everything.
All you.
Draw. Main 1. I suppose I should try it. You have like every trap under the sun right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Activate Tiki Soul.
On resolution. Actually, I'm going to chain to Tiki Soul with Replica.
Right. That would make sense. So that I'm not able to activate what could be another card. Could be literally anything. So probably should have done that in end phase to avoid replica. I need to deal with this somehow, so I will sack Tiki Soul for Shellyon.
Hell yeah, let's go.
This card is so bad. All right, hit in.
It's Kagemusha, and I will Leviton.
All right, we knew that was coming. All right, go ahead.
All right, draw for turn. Ooh, seeing something a little bit new. This is a fun card for me in this instance. Nah, we're gonna soul.
Going
we're gonna
for
curse.
it. Yep, you got it too. Sure.
Let's do it. And we're actually going to summon the soul in defense and the curse in attack.
Okay.
And then I am going to go to battle phase, and I will attack in with curse.
Take it.
Main phase 2, I will set a back row, and it's your go.
All right, it's nice that's supposedly all you have. Yeah, I'll just set a pair, throw it to you.
Draw for turn.
I'm going to in standby replica this.
Yeah, let's do this. So we are going to change soul to attack, just as you expected. And I'm going to normal something a little bit new and fun. I'm going to normal summon Elemental Hero Ice Edge.
That's a neat pull. Sure.
It is. I'm going to go into battle. I'll attack into your face down with soul.
Sure. So it's Kagemusha, but then per curse's effect, Kagemusha will die here.
And then I will attack in with Ice Edge.
This is pretty good. Yep.
And I'll use its effect to destroy replica.
Yep.
And I'll attack in directly with curse.
18.
Your go.
Draw. Kuik.
That is okay.
Kuik into Ice Edge.
In damage step, I'll Prison Gammon.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm so fucking dead. Yep.
All right, draw for turn.
Show me a
and
monster.
There is the Quick of my own.
God, what a beating. Not even close. Holy shit. I am so livid. So one of the weird things about my pulls was that I only pulled 2 Mizuho. I kept drawing both Mizuhos and none of the Shinais at all. So it was just so awkward that every time. And the problem was the second game, I preemptively searched Mizuho with the smoke signal because A, I didn't want to get Shien again. But B, I'm like, I have 3 Shinai. Clearly, I'm going to draw one of those. And then I drew the second Mizuho. So I'm like, oh, great. I guess I should have saved it and, not gotten punished. But I was not destined to win this game. So tell me about your pulls. Tell me how crazy they were.
I hope you're enjoying being angry.
I know that's your favorite pastime with this show, but yes.
Number 1, I got 1 Yaksha, which I opened both games. Number 2, only 2 Kagemusha, opened with one of them both games. But the best one, the best for last, the cream of the crop, the cherry on top, 1 Kageki.
Excellent. So you're telling me your opening hand comprised of a 1 of, a 2 of, a 1 of,
and another 1 of.
And another 1 of. So you got no smoke signals.
No smoke signals. No smoke signal, no asceticism.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh! Great. Glad I lost to that. Definitely more. I'm just not skilled enough, clearly.
Clearly not. Anything
else? You gonna keep throwing salt in the wound? Anything else?
No, that was pretty much it.
Great.
The
I'm
rest
glad
of
that's
my
what I lost
pulls
to.
were deeply uninteresting.
Great. Well, it beats my hand of currently double Magi Oshelion. So, there's that. I got 3 smoke signals, no Kaigekis.
Wow.
No Shien. So, I mean, smoke signal's great for the Shinai Mizuho shenanigans if you can actually assemble that combo. I mean, this set was cool. We had interaction because we had the Nordic relics, which, I mean, let's be honest, I've probably never seen the light of day outside of the series. So we had this, and then we had the sword, which is literally just 1-for-1 removal, which is crazy.
Absolutely. And the fact that Tiki Curse and Soul and Shinai and Mizuho were all common was crazy.
Yeah, and even the Garmer as well, right? A 1900 that if you attack into it, the thing bounces back to hand. That's nuts.
I was maining triple Wattmole to deal with that exactly.
Maybe you were right to do this. I had these in the side, and I didn't think these were going to really come up. But honestly, if you just like out one of these, and if you can protect the mole, my logic was you weren't going to really be able to protect the mole. But I guess if you get one of the relics, that's probably good enough.
Yeah, exactly. If you've got Mole plus a relic, Mole does everything you need it to do.
Yeah. I was also on tier because I figured we were both going to be on Garmer, and this is just like a 2K beater. He kind of sucks, but I mean, 2K is kind of big in this set, so I thought it was a neat little card. But
yeah, that's a smart move. I was siding into a bunch of Nordics plus the Nordic equip spell, and
Interesting.
Tier was one of them.
Yeah. Tier's a neat little guy. I don't think I got anything else too ridiculous. I think probably the 3 smoke signals, like the most interesting thing that I got. Actually, that's not true. The most interesting thing that I got, not only did I get Odin, I got Loki.
Excellent.
I got both of the fuckers.
Did you not get a single Alphar tuner or Ascendant tuner?
Nope. I did not get
Rough.
either. I looked through it, and at first I
no.
was like, oh, I pulled some of these. I pulled the non-tuner versions of them. So I was not able to play either of these fuckers, which in all fairness, I think I was still probably going to lose this anyway based on the way the game went. But I was going to at least try because, like, Odin's fucking cool.
Yeah, Odin is sick. One of the coolest synchro monsters to see jack all for play.
Yeah. And it was the ultimate, which, you know, there's style points for that.
Hell yeah.
But, yeah, that was it. I got waxed. You know, see you next week, everyone. It's just the Cimoooooooo beatdown hour here on Sealed Showdown. I don't even know what's next. Doesn't matter. Probably losing. See you next time. So guys, that's going to wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all of their continued support. So shout outs to Shadow1317, Moto, Tim00x3, Cameron Smith, MBT Play Medolce, Chaotic Meatball Part 2, Pony Starks, The Synchro Guy, Dan the Man Hoban, I ship MBT and Simo, Draconic Phoenix the Immortal, Jordan Coons, Iron Bladesman, Jesse Wood, Chris Hood, David Liu, Dylan Hunter, Cody Bretz, John Two Base, Extremely Vulgar Man, Brody Eastwood, Zerius Business, MBT caught injecting his fairy Lily, Carlos DT, Final Daddy, Valen Jackson, Hornet, Aren't You Glad I Didn't Say Alpha Tribute Ben 10, TC Gaming, thanks for the sleeve stat, Matthew Brady, Max, Twinkle Muncher, Eater of Crayons, Luabon, Yodabon, Helios 515, Simo's Chaos Cooking Draft, MBT funding the Iris with his Rothschild Wealth, that's his Roth IRA, Simping for Simo, Stolfin Amethyst, Nicholas Carpenter, Simo's Harem of Sexy Yugi Tubers, LGMBTQ, Nim Noodle, Malabranch of the Burning Tunnel, Stella and Zoa Vermilion, Wonder Waffle, James Keen, Skull Servant, and The Wandering Doomed are boyfriends, MBT cancel by all community soon, cancel by all committee soon, cancel by all players soon, not reading cards makes the game interesting and you know it. The MBT and MBT Yu-Gi-Oh! Stands for Morbin Time, The Undertaker versus Simo and MBT, Dalton, Hunter Reed, Shrug, Zyx, The Crystal Beast Enthusiast, ITF, Corvain, Dark Echo, TG Starman, Seamoose Engage, Viso the V, Wacky Waving, Arm Flailing Inflatable 2 Men selling crudely painted not so funny plywood cutout folk art, and hatformat.com. Thank you so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time.